This video that you are about to watch is by far the realest, rawest video I've ever made. It's definitely one of the longest videos I've ever made in my life, but I think that it's worth every single minute. I'm just so glad I did this video because I think so many people out there right now need to hear this story, need to hear this message, and need to watch this video. If you can share any video of mine, any video, please share this one, because I truly believe that this is gonna make a difference, and that you can make a difference, and that you need to make a difference before it's too late. Because every second counts. Literally, every second. Okay. I'm actually so nervous. I'm so excited though. Okay, so today I have a very, very special guest coming. Her name is Sierra, and she's supposed to be here any minute. So she has been severely bullied in the past, and she wanted to come onto my channel. I asked her to be on my channel and share her story. So it's gonna be, I'm so excited I can't even talk. Okay, and I got a gift for her. I wanted to show you guys before she comes. And I got them drinks, that's right. Okay, so I got her, okay. I'm so nervous, I'm shaking. It says, always remember you are stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you know. And this symbol represents strength. So I got her that. And hopefully she likes it. It's gonna be here in a second. I'm so excited. Okay, hang on, wait, keep it. I'm gonna redo the beginning because I was too nervous. Okay, so today they're here. I'm so excited. Yay, we finally meet! Hi, June. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you guys for coming out.
Actually never told her whole story to anybody. So
really?
She's nervous about doing it, but you know, if she can help, she wants to.
Yeah.
If she can prevent something bad happening for somebody else, she would like to. But so she's a little nervous.
I bet. Are you nervous, Sierra?
Very, very nervous.
Okay, so this is Sierra, and this is her grandma, June. And so I kind of wanted to get her perspective first. So I was like, I'm trying, actually, like I told Sierra this, I'm gonna like forget about the camera because I actually just want to have a genuine conversation. It's not about like the video, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm having the video to help people, but I actually like really care, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I like, as a grandma, like seeing your granddaughter go through this, how did you feel?
Wow. It was painful to watch this bright, beautiful, outgoing, bubbly girl just totally withdraw. To watch the mental and physical anguish that she was going through. To see all of this was terrible, painful, devastating for all of us. And then the fear of not knowing what she may do to try to get release from this. It was horrible. We didn't know how to help her at all. We didn't realize the extent of it. We would try to tell her, you're beautiful, you know, you're happy, you can do anything. And we didn't know how to do it.
for people watching this, for the parents watching this, and your child is getting bullied, is there any signs that they should look out for? Because sometimes when people, like somebody is getting bullied, they don't like to talk about it. You know, they like to keep it to themselves. They might feel embarrassed or something like
We
that.
noticed at first her self-confidence dropped. They thought that she was overweight, or that she wasn't pretty enough, or her hair wasn't right, or her clothes, and she just worried so much about her physical appearance. She couldn't hear, for some reason, all the good things and positive things we were trying to tell her,
Yeah.
but all the negative things she heard every bit of it. And can I just be honest? I mean, we started noticing that she was, pulling her hair out, and that she was like starting to go bald, her eyelashes, her eyebrows, and it was very difficult for her.
Is that? Wait, I'm gonna talk to you now.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Judy.
All right.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be hard.
I didn't realize I was going to start crying.
Let me first tell you my goal for this video. You know, my goal, of course, is to like help people out there, because you're not like the only one going through this. There's a lot of people out there who can relate to you and your story, you know. So that's my goal, of course. But you know, my other goal is to kind of have a really open and real and like raw and honest interview, because when you're honest, that's what's going to make a difference. And just lay it all out there, because when you just lay it all out there, no matter how hard it is in the moment, you kind of leave as a different person, you know. You open a new chapter to your life. So like, just lay it all out there.
Alright.
Because I want you to leave like as a different person. I want you to just move on with this, because you graduated, right?
Yeah.
So it's already a new chapter for you. So that's my goal, like for you. I want you to feel empowered and just go out here like, I can, like now I can live a happy life. So like, first, can I ask you, like, why did you want to do this?
Do the video?
Yeah.
It helps people. It really does. There's a lot of people, like, you don't even see it, even inside your family. A lot of people go to bully you or hurt you. Some people, it's not just people outside of your family. It can be at home. It can be moms, dads, sisters, brothers, uncles, aunts. It can be anybody. It's not just the people at school that can bully you and make you feel bad. So there might be people who are going through something similar to me that might need help.
Okay, here comes a big moment we've all been waiting for. So what is your story? Like, what happened? From the first to the end, kind of.
Oh man. Alrighty.
And I know she's very nervous, but I'm challenging her to just lay it all out there, because I want her to just start a new chapter in her life, so.
Alrighty. I guess I'd probably start when I was like 7, 8. We used to live out in Taylor, and we shared a room. And nobody really like seen it as anything, as I can tell. Nobody really seen it how I seen it. And then my mom would be like, it's just sibling rivalry, whatever. And they just kind of pushed it off. So I pushed it off myself. Like, hey, maybe that is what it is, you know? It wasn't until like 8 or 9 that I can remember anyway, when it started getting really bad. She'd like throw things at me, tell me things, and make me feel uncomfortable. Like I didn't want to hear things like that, you know. And I just, after that, you know, I didn't really want to tell my parents some of the things she'd tell me, because they'd get uncomfortable. So I'd start keeping it to myself.
So you didn't want to tell your parents because you didn't want to like worry them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't tell them much. I just pushed it off. After I was, 9, she'd put me in like these little storage crates, and she'd push me downstairs, like the flight of stairs.
Wow.
It's hard to think about, really, but she just, I don't know. And whenever something went wrong and I felt that something was dangerous for her that I didn't think she needed to be getting into, I would tell my parents. And it would make her upset. So she would tell something to them about me that I've done wrong, and it would make me feel bad. So I was afraid to tell on her, because if I told on her, she was going to tell on me for something. I didn't want to do that, so I stopped telling my parents things. And when I stopped telling my parents things, that's when it started getting really bad, because she understood that I wouldn't tell them because I was afraid to get pulled on myself. So she'd start taking the things I did and holding them against me. She'd get people to make fun of me at school and call me fat, call me ugly. They'd make fun of me all the time. They'd tell me I looked bad or stuff like that. So I like started pulling my hair out. Like, I'm 11 years old, you know? What am I gonna do? I'm not gonna do nothing. Like, I would come home, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep at night because I was afraid.
So you did all that because you were afraid of what's going to happen next?
Yeah, that was basically it. I couldn't tell my parents because they'd be afraid. I couldn't go to anyone because they were afraid. All my friends didn't like me, so my friends weren't my friends anymore. And my sister, like, we had phones at the time, just little flip phones, and she took my phone and made me like she had someone texting me to fight me in front of the school.
What?
Yes. So I didn't know what to do. Of course I showed up because I don't want to fight. I'm trying to explain to her I don't want to fight, you know? Like, I didn't like it, you know? I didn't know how to deal with it. I just, at this point, I expected it. It's been going on for years, just pushed it away, whatever. And I started, like, pushing myself away from my family, you know?
So you just kept everything to yourself?
Yep. For years, from 9 until 16 or 17.
And you didn't even have, like, so there's not one person that you could talk to?
No, none of my friends really liked me. They acted like my friends, but weren't my friends, if that makes sense. So I just kind of withdrew from people. I didn't want to tell my grandma, I was afraid. This is when my parents started to see there was a problem. I was showering, I had soap in my hair, I was taking my makeup off, and she went in the cabinet, and then she opened the bottle. Where I've got soap in my hair, my eyes are closed, you know, I'm not paying attention to any of that. And she comes up to the bath, and she just opens it, straight in my face. In my face, she just, half of a bottle of rubbing alcohol in my face. I didn't know what to do. Like, after that, that was, like, traumatic. That was honestly, that was really, really traumatic. I couldn't see for 3 days. It was all swollen under here, my eyes were red, I couldn't go to school because I looked so bad. My grades went down from the beginning of freshman year, I had straight A's. I had 3.8, 3.9, whatever, almost straight A's, B+. And my sophomore year, I had straight E's. I dropped out of school.
So when you say you dropped out of school, did you go to a different school, or you just completely dropped out of school?
It was kind of both. I dropped out of school for the moment because it was too much stress on me. I couldn't do school. They already seen I was failing all my classes. Like, I couldn't just stay there. It was just gonna make it worse. All these people making fun of me. I just had it drilled in my brain that my parents weren't gonna believe me. They weren't gonna listen. They weren't gonna help me. I had it that the people around me didn't like me. That my sister was always right and she was gonna be the successful one. And so I wanted to be like her. And I wanted to look like her. And I wanted to be the person she was. So I would go out and I'd start doing things she liked. And when she was into smoking cigarettes, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, I'll do it too. Or she'd be like, these clothes are cool, why don't you wear these? And here, you can only listen to this. Like, this, she regulated everything I did. My clothes, the things I wore, the things I listened to, the things I liked.
So she was a really big influence in your life?
Yes. I didn't have anything else. Who else am I supposed to go to? I can't. I'd start wearing what she wore, everything. Like, I became her. I'd start getting sassy with my parents. I'd start being rude to my parents. I'd start being, like, rude to the people around me. I didn't even realize it. I just wanted to be like her. I'd listen to her and listen to her and listen to her, and then when I turned 15, 16, I stopped. I finally became my own person and stopped, and I looked at her and I was like, I'm not gonna do it. So that's when it got really, really physical, like bad physical. At night, I'd like lay in my bed and she'd stay in there with me, and I'd turn off the light and I'd go to use the bathroom before I went to bed, and she'd hide in the closet, and I'd fall asleep and she'd come out and she'd hit me and stuff.
Did she like punch you?
Yes, like punch me, like wake me up to the point I couldn't sleep at night.
And is this person still in your life?
No, not at all. Actually, I haven't talked to her in months. when I went to therapy when I was 15, 16, I ended up going to the hospital because I tried killing myself. I didn't like my parents at that point. I don't know why I didn't. They didn't see the signs that I seen, and I thought that they did at the time because I'm young. I thought at the time they seen it and they just ignored it. So I didn't like them. I didn't want to talk to them about my problems. I didn't want to tell them, hey, this is happening. I didn't tell them I was depressed. I didn't tell them I was really thinking about hurting myself. I'd cut myself and I'd hide it from my parents.
Oh my gosh.
I have
this just got so I did not know this.
Yes. It's all up here.
Oh my god, can you see that, Selena?
It's all
Can you see it?
there. And that's how I got out of my problems, really. I didn't talk to them about it. I took it out on myself. And there was a really bad time in my life where I was really cutting. Like, I went to the hospital a few times and I almost had to get stitches. Like, it was bad. It was horrible. I'd been doing it for years. I was so depressed at that point that I thought being out of life was better than staying. I don't even think at the time it was that I wanted to die, it was that I wanted to be out of the situation. And I felt that was the only way to be out of it. So I was pushing myself more and more to that point. And I didn't understand how bad it was getting until I went to the hospital the first time. Like, oh man, I hate thinking about it. It's just terrible.
Sorry, do you have those tattoos because you were trying to cover it?
Yes. I got the tattoos because I didn't like looking at myself like that. I didn't like seeing. Sometimes I forget I have them, and that's why they're there. So whenever I look down at my legs, I go, hey, art. You know, it's not what I used to see. The last day I had my scars, I took a picture because I wanted to save it for myself. I wanted to keep it so that I knew where I came from. You know, if there was one time in life where I wanted to look back on my past and see how far I've came from it, I'd have that to remind me. So I came up with the tattoo design myself. I found a few things on the internet I liked. I kind of combined it myself, told my artist, this is what I like. And it has a meaning, you know. It's got a bow on it, which is feminine, and a skull, which is strong. So, feminine strength. I'm strong.
Yes.
It goes over my leg. It's horrible to think about. I hate thinking about it. My sister, before she moved out and permanently moved out, this was the last time me and her ever fought. Like, physically fought, because I stood up for myself. She was in the kitchen and I wanted a tomato for my burger. This is so stupid. This is the dumbest fight ever. And she had 3 tomatoes on her sandwich. I had none. I said, can I have a tomato? She told me no. And I asked again. She told me no. I'm like, that's fine, whatever. And she's like, you know what? Fine, you can have it. And took like hot fries, stuck them down my shirt, like threw the tomato at me. And I'm like, you know what? No way, I'm not gonna take this. I grabbed the ketchup off the table. I sprayed her with it. I ran down the hall because I knew she was gonna fight me. She like kicked me into the wall. She left bruises. I hit her in the head. That was the last physical fight we had.
So is that the first time in your life you've ever stuck up for yourself?
Yes, that was the first time. I was almost 17 years old was when I stuck up for myself. First time. And she didn't hit me again. So I had to do something. What are you gonna do, you know? She's like kicking your face and you gotta do something, you know?
So you know, that's actually a really good lesson. I'm not talking, it's not a good lesson on violence, but like sticking up for yourself.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about that?
Oh man, when I stuck up for myself, it was the greatest feeling in the whole world. Oh man.
Because you didn't feel so like small.
No. It was the first time in my life where I actually felt good. When you're your youngest, that's when people really influence you. And I hope one day I can have kids so I can teach them that not to listen to those people because they're wrong. There's no point in telling 10, 11-year-old girls that they're fat when they haven't even grown yet. They're kids. They're little kids.
And when little kids hear that, they actually start believing it themselves.
So when you hear that at such a young age and continuously hear
you think it's the truth.
It's the truth. You're not overweight. You've got curves. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a little bigger. Nothing. And I never got that until recently. I never understood that sometimes having a little bit more meat, it ain't no big deal. You're warmer, you know? You look good. You look great. You look healthy. it still takes time for me to understand that I look good. I still look in the mirror every day and I go, well, there's a problem, and then I'm quick to go, no, there's not. That's you. You look in the mirror and you go, that's you.
Yeah, people don't know, like, confidence actually has to be worked on. Like, you actually have to work on
confidence. Yeah, it takes a long time, especially through problems and bullying. All these people telling you look bad, like, you don't look bad. Each person is different. You're all different. You're not supposed to look like your sister or your brother or that guy over there or that girl who works out all the time. That's not you.
You are, like, everyone is unique in their own way. Yeah. Everyone here on this planet is made to be who they are and made to be themselves. And I like how you said that.
Yes. Yeah. You're always listening to yourself. Once you tune those people out, the people who are bullying you, it's all on you. You can choose to sit back and take it from yourself, or you can do something about it and change the way you think about yourself, which takes a very, very long time.
But it's possible.
It's definitely possible, for sure. I honestly, 2 years ago, I didn't even think I was gonna make it out of high school.
Were you, like, planning on, like, committing suicide, really?
Yes. Yep. For a while I was, yeah. The second time I went to the hospital, I took some pills. And they didn't work, obviously. Wow. I'm still here. Which I am so glad that didn't work. I was sitting in my room and I was writing notes. Like suicide notes. I was gonna leave it on my bed and I was just gonna let myself, whatever. I thought about it for a good hour before I even did it. My parents were gone, they had to do some running around, I was by myself.
So you were just sitting in your room by yourself,
yes.
The only person in the house.
Me.
And you were just thinking,
yes,
like, I'm going to do this.
Yes, that was basically, I'm gonna do it. And it was really hard to do. It's really hard to sit and think about your family and how all your friends would feel if you did it. I thought all about it. I thought about everything, and even then that still wasn't enough for me. I was in such a low spot, I thought, maybe this is what I want to do. You know, I did it.
What did you think about as soon as you swallowed the pills? Like, what was going through your mind?
Bad idea. Bad idea, bad idea, bad idea.
So you regret it immediately?
Absolutely immediately. As soon as I did it, I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? My mom and dad came home and I was like, Mom, I need to go to the hospital. I just took a bunch of pills. And my dad's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. So they took me to the hospital and I went actual inpatient this time. Like, they kept me for 16 days.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, they kept me there to figure out what the problem was. It was all my medication I was prescribed to deal with the problems I was having. They weren't exactly certain what the problems were at the time. They didn't understand why I was thinking the way I was. Like, at the time, they thought it was just depression. They didn't understand what I had went through.
How deep it was.
Yes, they didn't understand. So I was in therapy for 2.5 years.
And did that help you?
No, actually, it didn't help me much. When I got out of it, I kind of went back to my old ways a little bit. It took myself to really do it.
So you realized that, like, therapy or anything is not going to help you unless you want to actually really help yourself.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. And you weren't willing, you weren't ready to do that.
No, it took me a long time to actually process it. Like, you really start to think. I went to an alternative school because I couldn't pass, and I wanted to pass on times. I learned there for the first time. I actually got to go home after 3 hours and sit and process what I wanted to do with my life. I really got to sit down and think, is this the way I want my life to go?
And what did you say?
No. I finally decided that I wasn't going to let the problems I had before ruin my future.
So at that moment you decided that you wanted to make a change in your life?
Yes. And December 5th was the day.
Oh, you still remember?
I remember that day. Yep.
And then what happened after that? Like, what did you do to make that happen?
I did a lot of things. I wrote on my mirror all the things that I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel like I was a good person. So I put that I was a good person on my mirror. Of all these great things you can think about, all these wonderful words to describe someone, I put on my mirror. And I would go to the mirror every day and I'd look and I would say, even though I don't like that, I'm gonna change it. If I want this so bad, I'm going to work for it.
That's awesome. I love that.
If I want to be myself, if I want to become my own person, I need to work for it. So every day, every single day, I'd start working towards it. And at first, it was so hard. Like, I would sleep 3-4 hours a day. I wouldn't sleep because I'd be afraid my sister would break in. She's done it before. I was afraid that she'd come back to hurt me, and then I'd start thinking, she's gone. She's moved out. I don't need to think like that anymore. She's an hour away. She's gone.
And
it's
all
over.
The other toxic people were out of your life.
Yes.
And that's what really helped you.
Yes, I didn't. All those people were gone. I had the time by myself. I didn't have many friends, really, at that time. I didn't really talk to people much. I just sat by myself and I said, I can complain about not having friends, or I can go out and I can get some friends. So I did. I got friends from my alternative school. I'm still friends with them today. We went to prom together, everything. We're still friends.
Awesome.
Yep. I'm really good friends with people. We go on vacations, camping, all that. You name it. We're very good friends. I actually have started getting a pretty persistent sleeping schedule, which is so great. This is kind of recent. I haven't hurt myself in 6 months, 5 months.
Oh, that's so good.
So yeah, I was clean for 9 months last time. So I'm almost getting to that point where I'm clean again for the good 9 months. That's as long as I've been clean. So I'm trying to get to a year. I got the tattoos because I wanted to forget about it. I wanted them to heal. I didn't want to hurt myself anymore. When you grow as your own person and you start to really enjoy the idea of being you, nobody brings you down.
I mean, people can call you anything they want and be like, put you down or discourage you, but at the end of the day,
It's you.
it's you.
It's you. I told myself every day, you look good, you look fine, you look normal. You're not fat, you're fine. That's when I started getting healthy. And even though I weigh 125 pounds now, like, whatever.
Listen, you are beautiful inside and out.
Yes.
Seriously, I'm not just saying that for the video. You are so pretty, and you are perfect just the way you are. And like, please always remind yourself that, because it's the truth.
Thank you, I appreciate it. It took a long time for me to think that way. I still sometimes don't, but I push it. I really strive for, at the end of the day, to really take into account, how much did you do today? Every day I do my best to go out and make someone feel good about themselves. When you make someone feel good about themselves, it makes you feel good about you. You feel really, really happy about what you're doing.
Now you just spend every day trying to just be a good person.
Yes.
And you want to help people.
Yes, that's
so
exactly
what you went through, I know you may like, what you went through kind of happened for the best.
Yes.
And it made you a better, stronger person from that.
Absolutely.
And I'm so happy right now, because I heard your story and it seems like you were so depressed and sad, and now seeing you're so bright and like,
yes, it took a long time.
yeah, it was probably a lot of work, but like, I see the difference and it makes me so happy.
Yes.
And I bet you're so inspiring to someone out there. So like, someone watching this right now, they're probably currently being bullied or trying to overcome the after effects of being bullied. So what is some advice that you have for them?
All right, so if you are going through it, just breathe. Just think, what can I do to improve this situation? Is this person in my life, can I get them out? Is there any way I can avoid having this person in my life and influencing me in the way that they do? If it's a family member and you can't necessarily get out of it, try and isolate yourself from that family member. Try and get out more in the day, or maybe go for a walk, go for a jog. Being healthy, physically active can all change the way you think about yourself, and it'll get you away from the person who's harassing you or making you feel bad. If it's people at school, just try and avoid them. Go right to your class. You have to tell someone. Tell a teacher, tell your friend. Your friend will tell a teacher something. Tell someone, because you can't keep that on yourself. The more you keep it on yourself, the harder it gets. If it's your parents, and you know, the parents is one of the hardest ones, because you can't just get out of the house. Maybe tell someone at school, a CPS worker. The further you push yourself away from the situation and avoid it and put good thoughts into your head, the better it gets. If you're watching someone getting bullied, or if they're being bullied, just try and support them. If they're telling you there's physical violence or there's mental violence, tell someone who's going to do something about it. Because you don't know when it's too late until it's too late. Go out and put positive in your life. Push the negative out and put positive in. Think about all of your goals. Like my goal right now, I really want to go to school. I want to be a physical therapist, or I want to be like a fitness instructor, so I can help people reach their goals as well. You don't know how well you can impact someone's life. Instead of negatively influence people's life, positively do it. The further away you are from toxic, the better. And that's all you gotta think about. Further from toxic, the better.
So does it get better?
It does. It absolutely does. It's hard at first. At first it can get worse sometimes, but it gets better. Always gets better.
Do you feel the wind coming? It's like a sign.
You just can't let anybody tell you what to do. You just gotta keep pushing through it.
And I want people to understand in this video that every single person goes through hard times. Like I didn't have the best time in middle school. Like I had a really hard time. I didn't think about how much is ahead of me. You know, I was so young at that point, but I thought that like it wouldn't get better, but it does get better, and you will be stronger from it, and good things will come out of it even if you don't see it right now.
For sure. Always gets better.
Do you feel better speaking about this, honestly?
It feels so good.
Like you laid everything out there.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
That's what I wanted, because I want you to move on with this.
Yes.
It's all on the table now, and you're gonna leave it. Okay?
Yes.
So I just kind of wanted to say before this video ends, that I we called and we texted, and I've been talking to you for a while, and I just want to say that you are such an amazing person.
Thank you so much.
And I'm honestly from the heart, like you are so beautiful inside and out. You have the most beautiful eyes.
Thank you.
Do you see your eyes?
Yeah, her eyes are beautiful.
The color, and you're just so nice, and I see so much greatness and happiness and success in store for you in your future.
Thank you so much.
Like honestly, like I really see you're so bright now.
Thank you.
And it makes me so happy to see that. And I bet it's so inspiring for people to see that like you can make it out.
Oh yeah, it definitely gets better. 100%. It always gets better if you want it to. If you don't want it to, it's gonna get worse.
And you're so kind and unique, and I love how you're just yourself now. And I actually have a gift for you.
Oh, what?
You open it this way, because I don't know what to...
Oh my goodness!
So like that symbol there, like it represents strength, and that's what reminds me of you.
That is so sweet!
So every day wear that and remind yourself that you are beautiful, you are strong, and all of that.
I absolutely will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That is so sweet of you. I'll put it on now. This means a lot more than you know. That is so sweet.
This is something small.
It doesn't matter if it's small, it has meaning to it.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
the important part.
Yeah.
That is so sweet.
Sorry we took so long to... She just let it all out, which is a good thing though.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, did you hear so sweet?
So that symbol like represents strength, and that's just a reminder of every day. You are beautiful, you are strong. It's just a reminder.
That is so sweet. Yes. Thank you.
Do you feel better?
Yes. That was great. All right.
Turn around. You can feel your strength. And you can think about it every time you see it.
It's so pretty.
Yes.
Oh.
There. All right.
That's so pretty.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
Place your hand over your heart. It's beating for a reason, because you have a purpose in this world. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on the one life that you have. Always remember to talk to someone. You don't have to go through it alone, because you're not alone. Remember that you have the strength to go through anything in life, and that one day you'll realize why it happened. And always remember, never forget that it does get better.